Today we're going to talk about acne. Acne is a really common skin condition which many of us have struggled with. For a lot of us it actually starts in our teenage years, and for some of us it continues well into adult life and can have a totally serious impact on your mental health and your well-being. Now, acne comes about when you have hormonal changes in your life. So that's a good thing to know, because it helps you to understand that you can actually get acne whenever you have severe hormonal changes. And it actually, obviously, therefore, happens to teenagers, poor things, because there just comes a stage in your early teenage where your hormones go insane. And when they go wham like that, that's the exact weak point at which you can get acne. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about what you can do to manage acne if you have it, reduce it if it's quite bad, and actually prevent yourself getting it by making sure that you are in a place where you are primed to manage all the scientific stuff in your body so that your body doesn't actually create a situation where you have acne. Because, let's be clear, acne is just a physical process, not an inevitable hand of God saying, you got it, you've got to have acne and you're going to have it forever. That's just not true. Because we've actually been in a place where, for example, of my children, I know that they didn't get acne, I didn't get acne. And when I looked at this particular study, I understood why we didn't get acne. So, my name is Geeta Sidhu-Robb and I am a health and well-being expert based in London, and I want to give you credible, trusted, experienced information so that you can make your own health decisions, so you're in control of your health. So now, bear with me for like just 30 seconds, we're going to talk about the science. And the science behind, because if you understand the science behind acne, you will understand how acne works, okay? So there is a protein that actually decides how your cell growth occurs. And that cell growth reacts to different things. It reacts to nutrients, i.e. what we actually eat, it reacts to your energy levels, and it reacts to the stress in your body. Now, these things come about from obviously what you eat, how you behave, and different outside circumstances that affect you. And when this level of this particular protein goes extremely high, the sebaceous glands, the oil glands underneath your skin become super active, and they start to create a lot more oil. Now, when you're someone like me that already has an oily face, and then you go into a situation where the oil production goes straight through the roof, right there is where you have the best opportunity to get acne, because everything will get blocked, and that's when the production of acne starts to occur. So in this particular scientific study, they had a lot of information, but let's just summarize it. The information was this: that a diet that is really high in milk, meat, sugar, calories, alcohol, and your particular kinds of bad fat play a fantastically necessary part in raising the level of oil that your sebaceous glands produce. So, what do we do to actually make a difference? Let's understand the different options that you've got. One, if you go to a plant-based diet and cut all those things out, it will make an incredible difference to your skin, because it will affect the way that that level of protein rises and the way that it gets your sebaceous glands to create more oil, which then shows up in your face. So firstly, giving up the milk, the meat, the sugar, the alcohol, and the bad fats is a really big deal. And the easiest way to do that is to go to a plant-based diet. Now, if you're already vegan and eating plant-based and you go back, hang on Geeta, I've still got acne, I would suggest that you look at this thing, that just because you're vegan, you're not eating healthy. There is a place where, when I see people turning vegan, I see that they're still eating vegan junk food. And actually, that is not the right approach. Consider eating a diet that is much more based on whole foods and is based on natural foods. Watch the amount of sugar, fat, and alcohol that's going into your mouth, and particularly watch the level of processed food that you're actually having. Now, remember when I said the things that affected it was not just nutrients and what goes in your mouth, but also your emotional state and the level of your stress. Now, in a world where we live with so much pressure is on our physical appearance, how we act, and social media means it's constant. There is no escape. having acne can seriously affect your self-esteem and it can affect your confidence. And in a lot of cases, for some people with really severe acne, they have quite bad mental health conditions like anxiety and depression. And people just don't want to even go out of the house because they hate how they look, which is a terrible state to be in. And you particularly are not going to think, oh, I think I'll go find a boyfriend or a girlfriend, because it impacts you just don't feel desirable. And that is a really tragic place to actually be. And remember, I said at the beginning of this video, acne can occur at any time in life, but primarily it occurs as a teenage. I mean, the thing is, it makes a lot more sense when you think of the stress teenagers live with. They're developing their personalities. They're going through huge hormonal changes. Levels of testosterone, estrogen, progesterone are ramping up over a very, very short period of time. And you're kind of growing into your bodies. And so this is not only a massive hormonal change, it is a deep amount of stress. And actually what is happening is that I'm pretty sure that you're eating really badly at this particular stage. So you're hitting all of the triggers to produce a state where you will get acne. Now, generally speaking, we go to doctors for this, but what will not happen is the doctor doesn't look at the psychological aspect of this. And as we said, acne not only brings psychological problems, but in fact can be caused by having those negative emotions, which is a terrible feedback loop that you're in. Some kinds of therapies have actually helped. There is one called, for example, biodecoding, which is based on the belief that all diseases are caused by hidden emotional conflict. Now, I've never tried biodecoding, but it seems to have had some phenomenal effects. And it helps me to illustrate the idea that actually how you feel really translates into how you look. And the point about this therapy is what it does is it works on the emotional root causes of the problem. It deals with feeling rejected, you're not knowing your identity, and whether or not you feel like you belong. The core of every adolescent's issue. But actually, even as an adult, if you have changed your job, you have changed countries, you will be in this position as well, because we are not immune from feeling unwanted, undesirable, and really not enough, not pretty enough, not attractive enough. And if you have started to get acne, this is something to actually look at. And the core of managing this process is first to be aware of it, and then learn to love, value, and accept who you are. Now, if that is supplemented with a healthy diet, which also speaks to how much you love yourself, you're going to be in a position where you make an enormous difference to the way that your body is functioning, and of course the way your skin is going to look. So break that down. What I'm saying is that there are some things that affect you that will lead to the precursor of acne, shall we say. And that is that if you have huge hormonal changes, huge dietary changes, and huge amounts of stress. Has that happened to you? Because if it has happened to you, you can now isolate the thing that made acne arrive. And if it happened to you, you can see that if you can change your diet, your stress levels, and how you feel about yourself, you can completely change the way that your skin looks. And this is relevant whether you do or you don't have acne, but acne is one of those things that can drive us completely insane because we really, really end up hating how we look. And it leaves marks on the face, and it's almost something you carry for the rest of your life. So I hope this was helpful, and please share this with somebody who has acne, who's struggling with the way that their skin looks. And please subscribe so you know when my next video comes out.